My name's Owen, I'm the Dungeon Master of our Return of the Giants campaign.
Hello everyone, my name's Jared. I'm playing the character of Threign, Path of the Giant Barbarian, and he is seeking to learn about his heritage of the Frost Giants.
Hi, I'm Ali, and I'm playing Lyra, the Eladrin Druid.
Hi, I'm Matt. I'm playing Niles Silverwind, the monk Owlin.
Hi guys, my name's Simon. I'm playing the character of Ember. He wants to be a master of wildfire, but does he have the skills to be best one?
Hi, I'm Dave. My character is Harry Harrington the Harengon, a roguish merchant with a heart of gold.
Hello! Hello! Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to the Lost Archives for our Return of the Giants 5th edition homebrew campaign. It is lovely to have you all joining us here tonight. We are all very, very excited to be jumping into the session. Two quick pieces of news. Joining us once again, Christian from Hermes D&D Services and from the Twitch live stream on Tuesday nights, Critnamis. He's here.
Sorry, I was posing.
He is live. He's posing for podcast listeners. Posing.
He's also been very keen for this Wednesday.
I
very enthusiastic.
Enjoyed playing so much. It's been such a long time. I cannot wait for today. Yeah, look, Hermes D&D, we run birthday parties, but who gives a crap? I'm getting to play some D&D.
I will say this, I loved the Friday message. He's like, is it already Wednesday? And I'm sitting like, I love the D&D sessions, but it's Friday, and I don't want it to be Wednesday.
I finished it, and I just knew that there was then a week of work before I got to play D&D, and I had to... I love running my campaigns, but it's just like... that feeling of want and envy when watching all these other players. Oh,
sometimes you just want to be driven, right? Sometimes you don't always want to be the driver.
Exactly.
That's it.
Not a great campaign to be jumping in on though, because I very much throw the control of the plot, the steering wheel of the plot to you guys. So if you're looking for an easy ride,
that's good. We like.
I don't know if this is necessarily it.
No, that's great.
I like trying to keep you on your toes.
I do love keeping you on your toes. Last night in the Avatar session, I faked them out with an end of the campaign. In the last 10 minutes, they achieved one of the big final goals. I faked them out with a campaign end, and they were all high-fiving each other, feeling great, and everything went to shit. Watching Dave's face in particular is worth the replay. If you haven't watched that episode of Avatar Legends, the look of horror on Dave's face as I'm describing this stuff is priceless.
I didn't think it was over, but I didn't know what was going to happen. I was expecting the Fire Nation to attack.
That is a standard
thing that they do.
Yeah.
But what actually happened blew my mind.
Okay.
It's also terrifying.
No spoilers. I actually want to watch it back now. That sounds cool.
Yeah, I actually kind of want to watch it now too for the plot twist.
It was a good plot twist. It was a good plot twist. I mean, they've spent 59, 60 sessions tracking down the 4 elemental spirits and calming their rage after they essentially caused these spirits to awaken. And because this is set between Avatar Roku and Avatar Aang's still a baby, there's no Avatar to recorrect the world and put it back in balance. So it's been up to the players to do that. And they finally appeased the final spirit in the session last night, and for a moment thought they were done. And I really enjoyed them celebrating, knowing that I was about to drop this on them. And I was like, I'll just leave it a bit longer. Give them another 30 seconds of joy and celebration. And it was quite, I have to say, very, very satisfying as a DM to crush their hopes and dreams in that moment.
Fake campaign end isn't something I've heard of before.
Oh man, it was a good fake out. I've never heard of it either. I figured I'd give it a shot. It was a lot of fun. The other news I have to share tonight is that our lovely player Simon, who plays the character of Ember, he's away for this week. He will not be joining us. I will play Ember for tonight's session. Standard rules for when the DM plays a character. I keep them in the background, doing as little as possible because I don't want to make too many big decisions for their character while they're away. So if you don't hear a lot from Ember tonight, that would be why. That is the only real extra fun piece of news I have to share.
I guess I'll say one quick thing as well. My camera is in here. It's at the post office. Is that with the debacle today with Optus? I didn't even bother going in because they wouldn't be able to find it on the system.
We should provide some context to that because I think international people will find this quite funny. So in Australia, there's a couple. We have a bit of a binopoly where we have two big phone and internet companies that kind of everything relies on their services working. And in Australia today, one of those two big companies went bye-bye for 9 hours, which took out public transport. took out postal services, took out flight scheduling,
Trains.
took out a lot of stuff.
I can't believe it only came online like 2 hours ago. Even this session might have been at least impactful.
We were almost one of the casualties.
There were potentially
most
some
important.
Yes.
Yeah, there was potentially some bigger ramifications. I think Optus customers that had landlines couldn't even dial 000.
No, they couldn't.
But they could on mobile. So
even the mobiles, they did say that some of the mobiles couldn't either at some points.
Yeah.
Because my girlfriend couldn't actually even access the SOS at one point. But that was only short. But the landlines, that's definitely bad, especially for elderly people who rely on landlines.
So that I will say a national emergency is a fair reason to not have picked up your webcam for tonight. Your character is still okay
everyone will see my face.
For the moment.
Next week, everyone will see my face.
I was gonna say, since I've joined, I've never even seen your lovely little Gab.
Normally,
even his Twitch black and white is like sunglasses and just like right in his face. You can't see anything.
He's such a
man of mystery.
We need to get Jared like a digital avatar.
VTuber Jared.
Jared like moves and stuff. And
look, we can look into the technology. I know it exists.
I've seen people do it with like real images where they just have one of the normal and then one with the mouth open, like South Park. We should do that. Do pictures of Jared.
That would be fun.
Wow.
There's one group who do the VTuber D&D set up really well, and that's Matonia Blues. They do an awesome job with that because all of their artwork is done by like one of the players, Mims, who does incredible art. Is a massive inspiration for the art I do for this channel. And she has drawn multiple different facial expressions, and the software they're using kind of picks up on them, and so all the characters have like multiple active states that they switch into, and the transition between them is flawless. I like massive shout out to them because they fully deserve it. The technical side of their stream is incredible, matching beautifully the story side of their stream as well. So I'm more than happy to give them a shout out. They're incredible. Go check them out if you haven't already. Matonia Blues. Alrighty, let us jump into the recap, and I think we should absolutely do a massive thank you to Fantasy Forged for getting up at 1 a.m. Holy shit, that is commitment. My God, you are a bloody legend. That's incredible. All right, let us do our recap. The Tempest Adventuring Guild, a name now legendary across the lands of Nostea, has formed a brand new team. Lyra, Niles, Harry, Ember, and Threign are delving deep below the earth into the Underdark, seeking to investigate rumours of stone giants taking over territory and arming for war. The team had previously been spending some time in the merchant city of Oxenfurt, home of the Tempest Guild headquarters, the Night Hall. Reports from a group of deep gnomes had just reached the city, and the team immediately travelled to the nearby town of Greenness to investigate. Meeting with 3 deep gnomes, the group learned that the Dwergar, deep dwarves, were causing massive problems for the more peaceful denizens of the deep, taking slaves for some massive excavation. This information seemed to confirm the fears of Mira, that the stone giants are behind the recent excavations for the purposes of arming for war. It soon became apparent to the team that the gnomes were currently suffering from some form of poisoning, their mood and affect overly cheerful when discussing these dark matters. With the only hope of curing the gnomes lying in the darkness below, the team began their descent. After hours of passing through an enormous spiral tunnel carved by a purple worm, the team found themselves in a vast open cavern. Stalagmites and stalactites rising from the floor and the ceiling on all sides, the room lit by the soft illumination of bioluminescent mushrooms. Unbeknownst to the party, 2 individuals had been tracking their entry into the cavern. 2 voices soon called out to the party, one warning them of danger, the other calling them closer. The voice of warning soon revealed itself as an Owlin, who rushed to the party attempting to warn them of the roper hiding as a nearby rock. With the other voice now revealed as a Dero, a deep dwarf-like humanoid, who seemed to be somewhat insane, combat broke out, with the party under attack from not 1 but 2 ropers. While the team battled these monstrous creatures, the Owlin rushed over to the Dero and took it out in a single brutal attack, and I think holds the record for the single most damage applied in an attack for the entire Lost Archives history.
Hoot hoot bitches!
Hoot hoot bitches! Before rushing to assist the party with the remaining roper. We left off last session as the final roper was slain, and the party learnt the name of this stranger, Dream. As we left off last session, the deep gnomes had started to worsen, their condition beginning to manifest as a bloody cough, as well as these very fixed and dilated pupils. However, Noose was in a stable enough condition to recognize Dream, and all of you hear as Noose, who's lying on the ground, sort of propped up against a rock where Threign left him, sort of squints a bit, looks over and goes, "Dream, you got out. You escaped." And that is where we left off last session. We jump straight back in. As Dream, I think you headed over to Noose, had a few guesses at his name. I believe String, Rope, then Noose was your attempts for a name, which I like it. That teaches us how Dream encodes information, which is thematically rather than semantically. Like, you're not encoding it based on words that sound similar, but words that mean the same thing. So that's good to know. We have an understanding of Dream psychology now.
More analytical rather than wise.
Much more analytical.
Yes, I am out. Still, at this point, I'm eyeing where I felt that brief burst, or I guess steady at the moment, feeling of celestial energy from someone's pocket.
That's correct. Yes, you had done a sense good and evil. Divine sense. Divine sense. Which had a yeah.
Okay, well, yes, no, I managed to get out. Your companions should be okay after a little bit, but I'm going to look up towards everyone else. I think it might be best if we maybe sit down, have some rations, tend to the wounds for a short period of time.
Yes, I do believe that would be an excellent idea.
Might give us a chance to get to know one another as well.
Of course. I have many questions for you, actually.
Likewise.
It's been a while since I've met one of my own. It is good to meet you. Of all places, in a strange, dark. Well, how did you come to be here? What is your story?
I itching a little bit at that hand with the black object inside it. Went through quite a tribulation of endeavors. Let's say freedom has only recently been a gift that I am enjoying. And as a member of the Eris people, being locked away in somewhere is almost hell.
Oh yes, no, I can't. That would be awful. To be denied the freedoms that we were so greatly given.
A bird in a cage.
Yes, and heavens, your wings. I did not want to say anything, but it is clear to see that whatever kept you, definitely denied you a great gift. I am sorry to see them gone.
Yes. What brings all of you down here? You seems to be almost a little lost when I watched you following the Swift Nurblin.
A few different things, but mostly, I guess, we're on a quest from our guild just to sort of investigate. We've heard that there's been some going-ons down here. You haven't seen any giants down here by any chance, have you?
I guess that really depends. Are you talking about a kin of yours, a friend? I'm going to look over towards Threign.
Threign sort of probably plonked himself down somewhere, gorging himself now on food. He sort of looks up, sort of covered in like crumbs and other things. And well, look, just to be honest, we're just looking for stone giants down here. We're helping these little gnomes here get to safety. That's pretty much what we're here for. As I'm just scoffing down food.
Yes, quite literally, stone giants. Is this? How long have you been down in the Underdark by chance?
Um,
Approximate.
Gee, I don't really know time-wise. It's not really something that's discussed.
Wait, so you've been down here this long, and the whole time you're stuck in the cage?
Metaphorically, I guess, stuck in a cage.
Metaphorically, I don't know these fancy words. You're stuck in cage, it must suck being underground, I guess.
Yes, it definitely did. But I was definitely not a man when I was down here.
You're not a man, you're a bird, so that makes sense to me.
Forgive my friend here. He's a little literal with his.
No, he's quite funny.
There's little crumbs flying around and bits of meat.
He reminds me of a Leonin, to be honest. Large, a bit more muscle, but nonetheless very strong and proud. But no, stone giants, I guess I have. I don't mean to push, but I reiterate my question. Kin of yours?
Not of mine. No, my ancestors are from Frost Giants, and so us Goliaths, we all sort of hail from one giant, and my ancestors Frost. I was actually I draw my lineage back to one of our famous Frost Giants, young Ulfric. So just something for you. Just look around, very proud when you sort of mention. This would probably have no bearing on anyone else. Like in the village, he would expect a response, and then when he sort of sees you guys just sort of staring, like maybe with some like, oh, that's cool. He sort of looks a bit dejected.
Yeah, Niles kind of gives like a bit of a nod, like kind of just like, yes.
Only because I want to throw you a bone. I will roll a history check for Ember, given that the Goliaths and Firbolgs do have some shared history and shared culture and can trace their lineage back to the giants. We'll see if Ember recognizes anything. It's only going to be a +1, so that's not ideal. That's an 18. Ember does, wow. as you say, Jarl Ulfric, you watch as Ember sort of like nods and goes, cool.
With that, his face would light up a little bit and he'll pick himself back up and say, see?
It is good to see that you are nicer than your ancestors then.
Wait, did you meet them?
I have met
actually, I should say,
yes.
With your D&D context, I don't know if giants are the same in our world as they are in the other D&D.
Don't worry. Christian and I are on
this is okay. Dream's experience.
Don't worry.
All good. Sorry then.
No, that's fine.
Are you implying I do not prepare my players? Because I don't.
I just wanted to make sure that Christian was up to speed in case he wasn't.
That the way the phrasing there was purposeful.
Okay, sweet.
Okay, well, are you all searching for them? Because obviously not all of them are kin, as my eyes are going to jump over towards both Lyra and Harry.
Well, no, not really so much as kin. More in the sense that sort of word got to the guild that, I guess rumor has it that they've been preparing for war, and so
the guild.
They've just kind of been sent down here.
For?
Yes, the Tempest Guild. Have you not?
Have you heard? Adventuring Guild.
No.
Yes.
Niles'
face just.
It's you know what? It is okay. I didn't know about them either. They're just some little guild in town. Not much to worry about.
Little guild? Are you kidding?
Niles,
the Tempest Guild.
It is inconceivable that someone has not heard of the Tempest Guild. It was bad enough that it was Threign. He's from a cloistered enclave up to the north. Ember would have heard of the Tempest Guild vaguely. Okay. I think we discussed that early on. But for a member of the Owlin or Aarakocra to not know, that does stand out as a bit unusual to you.
When were they founded?
Niles would know this, but I don't think Matt knows this. When were they founded, Owen?
So the entire Tyranny of Dragons campaign took place over about a 3-month stretch. So, 4 months ago. Yeah.
For us, it was
But when Tyranny of Dragons started,
they were unknown.
The Tempest Guild were already around.
No, the Tempest Guild were the new team that was formed. There's the Adventurers League, which is like the overarching registry body for all adventuring teams, and the Tempest Guild of sort of like, so as a result of the Tyranny of Dragons campaign, the Adventurers Guild have kind of sort of fallen a bit. The Tempest Guild are now considered where you go if you want to be an adventurer. The Adventurers League, who originally were the ones who sort of oversaw all the different guilds. There's some drama there, but we haven't explored it yet. We'll get to it. Don't worry. I've got that on the background.
I'm just realizing that I'm the only founding member. Simon's come back, but I'm the founding member that's been through it all.
Or Jin.
Which is, So...
No, it wasn't even Jin then, it was Emric. It was the old character.
I would know.
Yeah. But 4 months ago. 4 months ago is when the guild was founded.
Yes, only 4 months ago. But the news of their escapades have reached far and wide. They were responsible for preventing Tiamat from returning to this plane of existence. They fought off her evil dragons. It was quite traumatic. But for you to not know of them, you must have been down in these dark pits for a long time. Oh, you poor soul.
I hand him a business card.
Take it. Thank you. I do have one follow-up question before Harry. I would also like to know from each of you what draws you here. But Lyra? Does the guild have a strong connection to the Fae?
Not that I know of. I mean, other than that they kind of helped me get back from being stuck out of there. So I guess it's kind of like an anti-connection because they're like working against what they wanted.
I'm not sure if Lyra knows this, but Jin does have a bit of a connection to the.
Jin definitely does.
Fae Wilds as well as Lyra.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sorry, just curious.
Game,
you smelt a little bit like that place.
I'm not surprised.
But yeah, and Harry, you were here helping them all as well. You were very helpful in combat. I can at least put that out. Thank you for aiding me at the bridge.
Oh yeah, one team, one dream. Yeah, no, I like these guys. So I was, they were going on an adventure, and I'm a bit of a merchant, so I saw an opportunity to see a bit more, get a bit out there. He's saying this as he's petting down Tim's body for any lead.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah, so I just thought I'd hang around with them and see where it goes. They're good people.
I see. Well, for all of you, yes, I did meet giants. I'm not in a rush to find them again, though.
Wait, what? Hold on, whoa. You've met giants. Which ones?
Stone, I guess, rock, or giants. I would not know what their title is, sorry.
Really?
Interesting.
Oh. Do you want to go? We should go meet them now. That'd be great. I would love to meet them. Is it the...
Well, hang on, Threign. There's our friend here of Dream seems a little bit apprehensive. It's interesting that you seem a little bit reluctant. We've already made contact with the hill giants, and they were very amicable. In fact, they were quite accommodating. These giants that you interacted with, what were they like, if you don't mind me asking?
I don't know, I just always felt natural for the big to bully the small. I don't want to cause any problems if obviously there are some descended from them. I would not want to be rude to ancestors.
No, not at all.
It's not too bad. I haven't actually met the stone giants. I would love to meet them though and see what they're like. But,
Well, the ones I found had forgotten about their ancestors, what I at least noticed, and we're running a furnace of some kind. That's where I worked under them, and they weren't the best employers.
Oh,
were they the ones putting you in a cage? Well, the underground metaphorical cave.
Cage. One of others. Wait,
did you say furnace?
Yes.
Is it stone giants that you...
Yes, the furnace was... I'm not sure the purpose behind it, but... stone, or their skin was like... I'm going to sort of just pat my hand on the ground as I'm sitting down.
Just add a game real quick. Are you sort of clearly showing the crystal on the back of your hand at this point?
Yeah, probably not needing to hide it. I'm not being secretive with it at all. If anything, I don't really seem to understand it too much.
Cool. In that case, as soon as you sort of like put your hand out on the ground to sort of pat the ground, Niles will just sort of look down and go, that crystal in your hand. That's how did you come across that?
As Noose was mentioning, during my escape, a workplace like that is a place you have to escape from, I guess.
Yes.
But yes, I stumbled across this. I'd heard them briefly speaking about it, a connection to their old dream walkers. I'm not sure entirely. As I was leaving, I approached it, and it seemed to embed itself. I've had weird experiences since then. The large surge of power you saw before is one of those experiences, and odd dreams, I guess.
Can I see if it's magnetic?
Yeah.
With like the usual stone repulsion or...
Yeah. Dream, you watch as Lyra comes towards you holding her hand with the implant on it out over the top of your hand, as if to place her hand on top of yours. As she does so, there's no sense of attraction or no feeling of it being repelled immediately, Lyra. But then you watch as the light on the top of yours suddenly blazes to life, blinking with this rapid white light. Dream, yours does the same with a blue light. And then suddenly the lights synchronize light blue, and Lyra, that attraction is suddenly there, and your hand attaches itself to the top of Dreams, that feeling of attraction suddenly there again, that magnetic pull.
I'm gonna instinctively pull my hand away defensively.
It immediately comes away. It's like two magnets together. As soon as you pull back, Lyra, your hand comes off. As that happens, Ember and Threign, and I think Dream as well. Your languages, yeah. All three of you hear synchronization complete. To everyone else, it just sounds like gibberish coming from outside of the two gems.
That's new.
Huh. What did... We all heard that, didn't we? Synchronization complete or something like that?
Oh, I didn't hear that. I heard something intangible, incomprehensible.
I heard it too. It's a little different to the language or stylized I'm used to with the stone giants. Theirs was more akin to what I'd read in my childhood as Terran, a variant of it at least. But yes, no, I heard that as well. What is that? What it synchronized? It's like your.
I have no clue what it means.
Well, we have a working theory with the crystal. We think it is definitely giant tech. There's no denying that.
I'm not bonded to her now, am I?
No.
Oh,
I can't be. I can't. You're beautiful. No, please.
No. I don't think it's anything like that. No, it's definitely giant tech. We believe perhaps developed by the cloud giants, I believe. We think it has something to do with memories and being able to revisit key moments in the giant history. In fact, we've already interfaced with it once or twice before. Going twice, yes. Returning back to a moment in the giant history. It's rather strange. We inhabited these avatars, or these giant individuals, and we essentially lived their life. Yes.
Like you were walking in their shoes. That's like my dreams.
Wait, Harry, weren't you a stone giant in the dreams?
I was going to say, yes, you were, weren't you?
Well, I think he was, but it was also confusing because, it all felt like a dream in a dream.
Yes. Well, for the stone giants, that's kind of how it goes.
That's what I thought. I figured it was. They'd always mentioned it, dream walkers. I don't know much about their culture, but I thought that it was natural if it was part of their enchanting, but you mentioned that this was made by this cloud giants.
We believe so, yes.
Well, I also saw stone. I was in the flesh of a stone giant, like you, Harry.
Yeah, it was a bit mind-boggling. It really was.
We also believe there's some sort of it's hard to describe, some sort of entity or some sort of individual that seems to, I guess, inhabit that plane. He doesn't really have a name, but he is a construct, so to speak. Damaged and potentially not all quite there, but he is there all the same. And we're not quite sure what to make of him yet. But we have met him.
All we do know is that if you stray far enough away from what was supposed to be or what had happened previously, is that the entire thing crashes.
Yeah.
And then you get to meet him.
Okay.
We found it out by accident.
Yes.
Is it safe? This crash?
Is
In
anything?
my experience, the crashes aren't usually a safe thing. A ship or a wagon that crashes.
Crash is an interesting term. I would refer to it more as reality sort of phasing out and entering a white space.
Also does.
Yeah. Now that you mention it, maybe not so safe.
How did you manage to make it sound worse? It's impressive.
I'm not very charismatic.
Don't think of it as death. Think of it as horribly dying, being torn apart. It's not death.
Never to be again.
Yeah.
It was like someone pressed the pause button and everything stopped, and then it came and talked to us, gave us a bit of a telling off, and started it again.
Yeah.
But from before, and told us not to screw it up this time.
Do these gems, whatever they are, have any divine energy if they were made by these giants? I only ask because I feel something similar to what I've felt in the past with reminiscences of Erithis' magic across one of you.
I mean, it's,
Specifically stronger coming from Niles.
if it was, coming from the stones, surely it would be in the same magic or similar magic across all the stones. But, if it's only in one of them, then it might be something specific.
Well, my fellow Owlin, I only asked, I thought you might have a spare stone in your pouch, or... That's what I feel, this remnants of what feels like my encounters in my past with Erithis' magic.
You'll have to forgive me. It's been a while since I visited the Erith homelands. The Silverwind Manor is not too far from Oxenfurt. I don't think it's been a while since I visited the Erith homelands. You think I have another crystal on me? I look at my hand and I'm like,
No, on your persons. The same way I can taste the Fae, I could taste it on you.
Could it be in the bag of holding? Like something snuck in there?
I look in the bag. Well, I can't really look at the bag of holding. Yes, Lyra, you might be right.
With the Oxenfurt, sorry, it's been a while since I've heard about the outside world. I know this is pressing, but how is it going? Is the Unseen University okay?
Yes, we just visited there before we came down here.
Professor Grill.
It's fine.
I'll be honest, you don't want to go. Very boring. But
We found an ancient closet.
the groundskeeper is pretty good. Niles here made fun of him a lot, though. Was not very good.
Not
with
make
Niles.
fun of him. We just
He was
shared
on the verge of
common name.
bullying.
He was bullying him.
Wait, you found the secret hideout?
Yeah, it was like a secret janitor's closet.
I know it very well. I'm glad that's still functional.
Did you used to spend time there?
Only a couple of times with the elves.
You said if it was okay.
But just with
What I?
not being
Sorry,
here so long.
I mean, you guys did
but when
mention
you
Tiamat
left-
trying to reemerge, so it's
that's
probably not a crazy thing to be like.
that's
Is reality still okay up there?
No, I guess my line of thinking was was there another threat?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question.
Directly occurring to the university around the time that Dream went into the Underdark. That's more what I was. Yeah.
Wait.
No, I'm also. You mentioned that it sounded like this guild of yours saved the end of the world, and I thought there might be some form of, damage done to other locations.
Well, there was. Surprisingly enough, though, the wizards did a very good job cleaning up and fixing a lot of it. Yeah, but at the time, no, it was terrible. The city was destroyed.
Oh, darn! Matt's nailed it.
Yeah.
And I guess yes. In that case, sorry, it's been a while since I've spoken to anyone about the outside world. But yes, I smell magic like the staff of civilization.
So this is something that Matt does not yet know, but Niles does know. So the Aarakocra and Owlin, the Heiress Theocracy, have two magical artifacts that they keep pride in place in the main temple. These are fragments of Erithus' staff. During the ruin, the god of civilization and invention Erithus, her staff was shattered, and fragments of that rained down upon the land, and that's what shattered the Shattered Isles. That's what created them from what was once Thalasia.
Shit.
So
Don't know this.
the Tabaxi and Leonin have most of them. The Aarakocra and Owlin have two.
So does Niles have this on his person now that...
This is a very closely guarded artifact. This was a god's tool that has been left behind in the world. No one's been able to reactivate them or get them to do anything useful for a very, very long time. But this is not something you would be allowed to walk around with. I mean, Dream talking about something charged with divine energy on your person, that's news to you. That's not something you were aware of. I don't think it's something that you've noticed yet.
No, yeah, Niles just shrugs and goes, I don't think so. But I can have a rummage in the bag of holding and see if there's something that's...
I will also add, Dream, you would know that your divine sense probably doesn't extend into pocket dimensions. So as soon as they start talking about a bag of holding, if you were sensing it, it can't have been in the bag of holding.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think Paladin Divine Sense would extend into an extraplanar space, because it's not really there, is it? It's sort of...
It makes sense.
Makes sense.
So it's on his person. So as soon as you see Niles get out the bag of holding and reaching in, I mean, you would know what a bag of holding is. You would have seen them before. They're not a mega uncommon magic item.
It wasn't from that location. It was somewhere else. I'm going to try to feel around to where I sensed it before, without being too abrasive.
Yeah, it was lower half near, probably folded in the pockets of Niles's robe. Niles, as you reach your hand in and feel around, you feel a metallic object, and as you pull it out, you see the holy symbol of Melora that you picked up many sessions ago.
Oh. Whoa. Okay. Yep. I remember that.
Way back in the town of Laspire, I believe you picked that up from the rubble of one of the houses, from memory.
Yes, there was. Well, we went to a church. At one point. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
The DM doesn't forget what is in your pockets.
I don't even have that in my inventory.
You do. That's crazy. You do. Scroll down. It's there. I double checked it because I remembered as soon as Christian said Dream was going to do Divine Sense, I was like, I wonder if Niles still has that holy symbol of Melora. And I quickly pulled open your character sheet, and sure enough, it was still in your inventory. So I went, great.
Oh, I do. What the heck? Yeah. Okay. I have a holy symbol. Yep. Crazy.
As Dream, you watch as Niles pulls out swirling vortex of energy, the holy symbol of Melora, goddess of the winds and wilds.
It's been a while since I've seen that sigil. Yeah, no, I can taste it. It's somewhat divine in nature.
What does divine taste like? Is it spicy?
Yes.
It's kind of like cotton candy, I think.
I imagine infernal would taste like spicy. Surely, right? Demonic and devilish would be a bit spicy.
Sugary and sweet, and it sort of dissolves after the first initial taste. I don't know how to explain the way that this sort of works for me. It's all
like sweetness.
It's all very very new. I'm still learning all of this myself.
You seem to have some interesting sensory abilities. That's not the first time you mentioned that something smells like something. Is that a particular talent of yours?
A new one, I guess. It's always been vaguely around, but it's only since my escape with Noose that it has really manifested, I guess, alongside the stone in my hand. Maybe this is the reason being.
If you don't mind me asking, you mentioned that you spent some time in the university, and then you somehow ended up down here. Did the Professor Grell send you down here or something?
No. No, he did not.
Okay. Who did then?
Pardon?
Who did then?
No one sent me down here. I sort of just ended up down here.
Teleportation mishap. Are we next to I remember Harry was saying that he was like frisking the body of
I'll jump back to Harry. Harry, could you roll me an investigation check as you begin checking the corpse's pockets? 9. Harry, as you rifle through the corpse's pockets, the first thing that you pull out is a collection of bones wrapped up in what looks like regurgitated fur, almost like someone has eaten something whole, skin, bones and all, and then vomited back up the bones and hair, which does somewhat put you off checking the other pockets. You do see atop the head of this Darrow are a pair of almost what look a little bit like goggles in a way. Lenses carved out of a crystal that is almost slightly similar in color to like an amethyst or a garnet, this sort of like reddish purple color, set into this dark iron banding, then tied back with leather strips. It looks very well made. There's no way this was made by the Darrow. As you examine his other clothing, which is rags of hide and skins that have been carefully stitched together with what looks like guts. This is worked. Clearly is very, very carefully made.
He wasn't in the best state of mind, so maybe it's not worth putting on. I might just chuck this in the bag of holding for appraisal later.
Sure.
If you guys don't mind.
Niles opens up the bag.
Yep. It looks like it could be worth something.
Niles, I'll get you to add mysterious goggles to your to your bag of holding.
Mysterious goggles,
which is what these are until you figure out what they are.
Yep. Old mate Barry would have just put them on, but Harry is a smart man.
Just an odd question to help here if Dream can without metagaming. Does Dream recognize that this is a commonish design in the Underdark?
As you have a bit of a closer look, Dream, do you want to roll me a quick Arcana or History check? Your choice.
I won't add it yet. See what they are.
5. Some surface dwellers that have come down into the Underdark do need to wear goggles. You're not quite sure what their function is. I mean, you tried them on once. They didn't really do anything for you, so you're not sure what these goggles are supposed to do. These don't look similar to them, actually. These look a little bit different. Whereas those are sort of fitted with a smoky, dark, crystalline lens. These are sort of a purplish, reddish hue. No idea. But they might help you see, they might not. Who knows?
Not my problem right now.
Not your problem.
I'm not sure if this would work, but... So I was talking to Shana a bit ago, right? And she was telling me about this spell where, like, you use your magic and you can talk to the dead. I have no idea how it works, but I mean, I figured, it's all about magic and intention, right? So if we just try and cast a spell with the intention of speaking with them?
Well, like, he wasn't really all there when he was alive.
Maybe he's more there when he's dead.
Yeah. That makes sense.
That could be interesting. I hadn't thought of that.
Well,
Darrows are nonsensical sociopaths and serial killers. You would not have too much purpose speaking to one.
So, I have...
Ember's going to nod and go, Is there like a question in particular? Because do they have to tell the truth? Do they have to answer like honestly, or can they just say whatever random shit they want to say? I'm not familiar with like this sort of necromancy stuff.
Don't worry, me neither. I mean, it's just sort of something I remembered that she was telling me about that seemed really cool. I mean, wouldn't hurt to try, right?
Look, worst case, I just burn it with fire as Ember lights his hand.
What if this goes wrong and we end up resurrecting him instead? I'm not sure if I want to do
it. Dream killed him pretty easily.
I was actually going to mention that, Dream. That was a rather impressive strike you did on that, on poor old whatever he was named. That was rather good.
My old workplace, there was a saying, "I'm him."
Oh. Ooh. But yes, that was a good strike.
Are you casting the spell?
Yep, she's trying to cast the spell Speak with Dead. Unfortunately for Lyra, she doesn't know that spell.
No, but you do have Animate Dead. Is that what you're casting instead? Okay.
Probably unintentionally for her at this point. Like, she is legitimately wanting to speak with him.
Oh no.
All of you watch as Lyra spends the next minute, unless you interrupt her, pulling out like a little pin, pricking her finger so a little bit of blood falls on the corpse, like cutting off a little bit of flesh from it, and then getting a little bit of bone dust and sprinkling that over it, and then tracing in the air like these dark glowing green lines, like clearly some sort of necromancy energy. Spores begin to fly out from her spore flask, begin to fill through the body.
I like look around at everyone like,
So is this basically
right?
Is this basically just Last of the Zombies?
Lyra's spore magic is all of her necromancy things are spore based. So yes, you watch as Lyra goes to cast Speak with Dead, spores begin to lay upon the body and grow. These thick mycelial strands pushing through the chest cavity, through the clothing, and you watch as the body twitches a little bit as the mycelium begins to grow through the muscle fibers, animating the body manually. Lyra, as you finish the spell, there's a sudden jerk, and you watch as the corpse sits up, the head sort of lolling lifelessly as the pupilless eyes. For the first time, you notice that the Darrow doesn't have any irises or pupils, just these solid white eyes. Dream, this is how Darrow look. That's just standard for Darrow. But for everyone else, that is probably a little bit freaky. As the head sort of like lolls back the
terrifying.
Yeah.
Guys, I think the spell worked. I think he's gonna talk to us now.
Ask it a question. I'm rather. I wanted to kind of wonder why he was just sitting here in the cavern.
Tim, why are you sitting here in the cavern? And what do those glasses do?
How do you know his name?
Did he say it?
Did you understand that? I don't speak dead.
I don't speak dead, but you can.
Does she understand him?
No. You watch as some mycelial strands begin to push out through the mouth, clamping around the jaw. This almost like a little budding mushroom, and these little gentle spores begin falling out from the mouth as it opens and this bulb pushes its way out, the fruiting body.
Yeah, Harry steps away.
That's Lyra, is that meant to happen? I don't think Tim can talk now that he has a large mushroom growing out of his mouth.
I mean, she only did tell me vaguely how the spell worked, but I thought that there'd be a lot more talking and a lot less mouth bulb mushrooms.
I have half a mind to just let Ember here just burn this body to a crisp.
I mean, he doesn't seem violent.
No, he doesn't, but he's rather repugnant.
I'm going to walk up and just like punch it to see if it responds. Are you sure it's not violent? And I'm going to like just try to softly clock it in the jaw.
Let me have a quick look. Yes, the creature, if you issue no commands, the creature defends itself against hostile creatures. Dream, as you punch the corpse, it immediately responds with a haymaker. Do you want to roll me an attack? I'll get it to roll an attack too. Oh, cool. Amazing.
I think as soon as she does see it starting to retaliate, she would just be like, no.
A 16.
16, I believe, definitely hits the zombie. Yes, it does.
Only for 3 damage. So I'm just going to like, is it really? And I'm going to kind of just give it like not a hard punch, just like a soft hit of the jaw,
it
kind of shake up the brain.
Yeah, that definitely. It's got an armor class of 8.
Wow!
As you strike it, you watch as the where were you striking it? Sorry, what were you aiming for?
Just the jaw, because I wanted to try to shake up the head.
Yeah, the jaw unhooks and then slowly starts to fall off as these mycelium strands try to pull it back in.
Shit!
And then slowly reel it back in.
Oh no!
The corpse immediately swings around and hits at you before Lyra then calls out, "No!" As it does so, 12 doesn't hit you, does it?
It does.
Oh, it does hit you. That's because you've got nothing on at the moment. You're just basically nude. That's going to be 5 points of damage.
Okay.
As the zombie strikes into you, and then as soon as Lyra calls out no, it just freezes in place. Lowers its arm.
Oh.
And then turns and looks at Lyra.
So you do have some control over it, Lyra. Ah.
Jeez. Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Right.
You guys should keep fighting. Yes, go. Keep going. Spar. Just sort of sitting there like fight.
I guess if you can do this and you can bring it back infinitely, Threign, that means you've got a sparring partner that you could kill as many times as you want.
Oh, that sounds like a dream theme.
I would ruin this thing though in like 2 hits. Where's the fun in that? You guys can fight though, but once it looks pretty weak.
Well, we'd have to find something a bit bigger for you then, huh?
That's
what horrifies me.
Yes, let's go right now. Like Niles, I don't know about you know much bigger, but let's go. I sort of wrestling him.
Now,
wrestling the zombie.
Time has been sort of going on.
Niles.
Do you think we've probably had a short rest?
I'm happy to let this be a short rest, definitely.
Hey. We need it.
As you sort of talk a bit through, it suddenly occurs to you that the gnomes haven't chimed in a while.
Oh no.
And as you look down at them, you can see that, for the most part, it looks like they are currently unconscious. That probably isn't a good sign.
Oh, shouldn't they? Unless
Are they healed?
they're getting worse. I did use my 5 points on each of them of lay on hands to try to remove that disease. So they're still unconscious.
It looks like they've fallen. Looks like they've fallen unconscious since you did that.
Okay. Can I do a medicine check instantly on Noose just to make sure that he's not dying again?
Absolutely.
Are we supposed to be doing
that? 17. Scurry
17.
Back over to him.
It looks like this is a natural sleep. The result of that poison, whatever it was going through their system, has exhausted them. They had been accruing exhaustion points, but those hadn't been manifesting until the disease finally broke. As a result, they seem to have now fallen unconscious. They are healed. The poison is no longer affecting them. This is just their natural body now trying to recover from the disease, this poison that was damaging their systems. Dream, you get the sense they just need rest and they need some food as well once they wake up, and they should be doing okay. They should make a full recovery.
Lovely.
You say lovely, but it looks like you're in pain.
So Dream at the moment is frustrated for the point that he was about to ask everyone else where they came from so that he could leave. Now it feels like he feels obligated to not just leave them in the Underdark unsupervised by themselves when they nearly got jumped by 2 ropers. Okay, so what? Where you were heading to find the giants? Was that your only goal down here?
Well, the Duragar were we've heard are pushing into the Snivlin territory, and we wanted to investigate that as well on behalf of Mira and the Tempest Guild, of course. We believe that is due to the stone giant activity. It's all connected, but but we're on our way there to hopefully quell whatever the situation is. Although what you've told us about the stone giants raises some concerns. I was hoping that the stone giants were to be as amicable as the hill giants, but that doesn't seem to be the case. So we may need to rethink this strategy a little.
Well, if you're wanting to find the stone giants, they are in connection with the Dwalga, on your pronunciation.
I think the correct pronunciation is Duragar. I have been saying Dwargar. I think it is actually technically supposed to be Duergar. I will try and remember.
I figured that it might be different consonants saying different things.
Let's switch to it, because the reason I say Duergar is because that is what Mark Humes in High Rollers called them, and that was my first interaction with the Duergar, and so now that's all I hear. So I cannot wipe that from my mind. It seems. I will try and remember to say Duergar, but it is technically. It also
does sound cooler. It does sound cooler.
Duergar, yeah.
Duergar, or like that.
Oh, Duergar. Okay, look, we can.
I think it's that I always thought of Duergar, but then I think Baldur's Gate say something else. So
really?
Duergar or something like it's so.
If it's up to interpretation that much, let's stick with Duergar or Duergar, whatever you feel like.
That's my. Yeah,
we all know.
No, I think it makes sense that it's probably just from me not being on the surface world for so long. That's just how I.
You're pronouncing it how they pronounce it. Everyone else calls it Duergar.
Well, the Duergar, which it does have a bit of a Scottish saying to it, so it makes sense if they're saying it, the dwarves. The Duergar have a connection to the stone giants, and if they have been causing problems for Noose and his people, I guess I can leave the Underdark another time.
Ember nods as you say this, Dream. Yeah, I mean, we were hoping to follow these guys back to their village. That was the plan. When we found out they were sick, that kind of changed a bit. But now that they're not sick anymore, I think we go back to Plan A, which was try and take them back home, and then they were going to help us out, try and locate the Duergar. To
look, I'll be honest. You should just come with us. You're a good fighter. Look what you did to that fucking thing. So you should 100% come with us.
Did.
Yes, that was. I
don't know. Like there was something when we were fighting that stone thing, and you did something in the combat that helped me greatly. So, I mean, I can see fun there. To be honest, you should come with us. We can fight together. It'd be fun. Comrades in arms.
Okay.
Yes, come with us. Come. I grab you like in a hug. Bring everyone in. Come on, you come with us. No, I don't take no for this. You come with us.
On a condition. Niles?
Yes.
Sorry, Threign, 1 second, please. Niles. I would like to leave with all of you when you do finish whatever you're doing down here, and if you could help me get back to Aeris. It's a bit difficult for me to do it myself, obviously. I'm gonna sort of scratch at my shoulder towards where obviously there's no wings.
Oh,
that would be very much appreciated.
Oh, of course. No, it would be my honor to escort a fellow Owlin back to our homeland. Of course. Say no more.
Good. Well, for helping us out, I'm sure the guild would give you a lift on the airship. I mean, we can probably get you about anywhere you want to go.
Well, honestly, even without us, if you ask really nicely, they're really nice people.
That's true. The airship is rather
Like, come with us.
Okay, well, look, if we're going to be traveling together, then I would like to go over how this place works. You all seem a little like tourists, I guess.
No.
For one note, you were blinding your guides with that rock of yours.
Oh.
But if we don't...
Here, let me explain. I'm going to start drawing into the sand a bunch of detailings and explain the following.
Do you also do like common words and stuff like that?
Sorry, I actually have what I'm reading at right now. Fighting in the unprofound darkness of a colossal cavern is a matter of applied logic, strategic thinking. To prevail, one must first meticulously chart the cavern's layout, using this to identify tactical advantages, choke points. Next, logic dictates that you should prioritize silence, moving cautiously and using soft-soled footwear, employing nonverbal communication such as hand signs for tactics if possible. It's essential to coordination in this environment. Furthermore, psychological warfare comes into play as well. Many of the creatures down here use it as well for paranoia and deceptive tactics, echoing and whatnot. As I'm explaining all of this, I'm going to go over for like 10 minutes talking about
a couple of... Are you saying this stuff?
Yes.
Yeah. Just cool.
As I'm going over this for probably the next 10 minutes, talking about the races, some of the nearby areas, some of the creatures of the Underdark, trying to give everyone a little bit of knowledge, I would like to use my Inspiring Leader feat.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, nice.
As we're all taking a short rest and getting hopefully back up to full hit points, I'm also going to give everyone 9 temp HP.
Wow! Look at that.
I will add that to Ember because he is away. But yeah, this is a lovely reflavoring of the inspiring leader rather than inspiring people with like, you can do it, you can win. Like as a trackside coach, you're inspiring them with knowledge, with understanding.
Can I take half of those temporary hit points? Because I wouldn't listen to everything. I'll be honest. I'm putting myself here. Yeah. I would only listen to certain things like the combat.
How about are you okay with it, Owen, if I give him half and give half to Flicker?
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Flicker on Ember's shoulder just really enjoying like the hand movements, like the drawings you're doing. Ember like watches Flicker really gets into it. Like every time your hand moves, Flicker's like watching your hand move around.
Niles is very intrigued in all of this. He like whips out his handbook. He starts like you start to say the things, and he's just like writing it down like very intently, like looking down.
Niles,
looking down.
The theories that Dream is calling upon are very advanced and clearly his own adaptation of Owlin battle techniques. The Owlin monks for a very long time have employed these tactics for nighttime combat when they've needed to either get through enemy lines during the ruin when they were delivering messages and working as nighttime combatants. This is all very much like adapted for a cave environment. Dream is, there's a level of training there that.
Yeah, I actually look up at one point and I say, this is all rather. Yes, no, Dream. Have you studied or practiced at a warrior monk monastery at all? This is all rather to the book. Owlin tactics. This is good. This is what I am used to.
Yes, I was a dancer. I partook in the traditional Ares theocracy ballet. It's battle ballet, I guess.
Oh yes, I've heard of this before. Yes. Yeah. Wow. Interesting.
Harry looks at Threign expecting like a comment.
I'm sort of like in a stupor. Sort of. He said way too many words for too long, and I think there'll be a few times where you might even have to be like, click, like big guy. Hey,
it is the downside as well. Inspiring leader. It's a 10-minute long conversation.
Oh no, you lost me in 1 or 2 minutes. Look, I shot myself in the foot. I shoot myself in the foot with a lot of this character, but I'm playing to the character. I'm sad that I don't get 9 HP, but
I like look at you, Dream, like my eyes sort of widen, and I say, yes, no, the dance moves of the Ares theocracy are incorporated quite strongly within my monastery, within my teachings.
Likewise.
My Shifu incorporated them into our mantras. In fact, it dictates my own battle style, swift and agile movements, striking at weak points. It's how I am able to stand toe-to-toe with some stronger opponents like Threign over there, to redirect, to use my opponent's strength against them is a core tenet. This is wonderful.
You guys talk too much. My people, we don't talk, we do.
Speaking of doing, staying in one place unless it's a walled city in the Underdark is never a good idea. I'm going to sort of like try to call everyone together for like a huddle, if possible, and place my arms around everyone. And
perfect. I grab everyone in a bear hug. Bring you in.
And as everyone is...
Perfect. I'm laughing. I didn't even listen to your be quiet.
I'm going to sort of reach towards that holy symbol that Niles had and try to use it to help me cast, as I've sort of just been focusing on my own powers, aid on everyone as well.
Absolutely.
Actually, no, only 3 people as aid. So I'm going to put that. I had thought about this actually previously when I planning out joining the campaign. I was either thinking frontline or backline, and because the Underdark is much more of like a sneaky place, I want to protect the backline. So Ember, Harry, Lyra are going to get it.
Yes.
I will say this, Matt, for out of context, not out of context, but out of game, Niles is going to have to be on top of Threign a little bit. You're going to have to mentor him a little bit because he's going to be a bit loud. He's going to be a bit boisterous. You're going to have to try and reel him in a fair bit. And I feel like Niles, and even Harry and Lyra, I guess too, like they can jump in on that. Just help me with this character.
Maybe Ember's the
he's
best
not
one
made
to
for
do
the
that.
Underdark.
Maybe, I think Ember might be.
Ember, because Ember's a fellow giant king.
Honestly, like, I sort of made this character with the assumption, like, with the thing that, like, the party would influence him over time, and he would learn from the party. So he'll be learning from all of you as well as Ember, and so we'll see how it goes.
For the 3 that I put it on, Aid is a maximum increase of your health by 5, so it's not temp HP.
No, so it does stack, because you can't stack temp HP, but this does allow you to use both.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. I'll add that to Ember right now as well.
Max HP modifier, I see.
So a lovely little boost here of, I did the maths before, and then...
So Ember is up to 47 max HP. Well, not 47 max, 47 total HP with the 9 temporary hit points, 38 maximum. Ember does not have a lot of hit points.
A total of
38 max.
Wow. A total of 69 hit points given out from the feat and the spell.
Dang.
Outstanding.
That's awesome.
And
for those people who say that you never should do proactive healing or temp HP, you should only ever heal people when they go down, this is the argument against that, because it does matter and it does help. Those people who try and tell you that it's the most optimum to wait until people go down and then burn healing spells, not true.
I would say this is a different type, though. I don't think this is so much like healing per se.
This is definitely a preparation.
This is.
But a lot of people wouldn't use spells. They wouldn't like keep spell slots for this stuff, and they wouldn't use it. I've seen it in a number of guides and a number of campaigns.
So I do agree. In combat, I don't really heal much other than healing word to bring people up, because actually in economy, it's better for me to take out the threat than heal someone. Especially if you heal them for 8, they get back up. Sorry, if you heal them for 8, they have 8. They go to 16. The dragon hits them for 50. It doesn't matter. But Aid and the inspiring lead, that they are really good. They're great.
Amazing.
That's different, because that's like the difference between going down and staying up, right?
Exactly.
And this isn't eating into the action economy or anything. Like, this won't eat into trying to kill the people. Like, our friend here, Dream, would be more than happy to dish out another 90 damage and have all these on top, which is nice.
Absolutely.
Now, I would like to ask, as we're about to leave now, I'm going to whistle over Kong Chi, the Fire Rev, to my side, put a sort of arm up on his waist, getting ready to mount. What's the plan going to be for the Swift Nerblin? If you would like, I could put all 3 simply just lying on the back of my companion. You could save any of us having to carry them.
You could do that, but I like keeping them on my back. It helps me. I do some weight training when I'm walking. It's like weighted sort of vest. I like it. It's good. It's helpful with my training.
Threign. You have to think, if you see a threat and you want to strike it, do you want the Snidivlin weighing you down, so to speak? Or
I gave them 2 seconds to jump off before, and they did, so they'll be fine.
Ember's they're unconscious now.
Because she was close when she placed her hand. I'm going to lean over to Lyra. I saw he just threw one on the ground. There's cliff sides in the Underdark.
I think he was trying to be gentle about it. Like,
what if he accidentally throws them over a cliffside?
That is entirely possible, and we should probably
keep an eye out for that. Niles. Look, any scrapes and bumps just makes them stronger. Don't worry too much about these things.
I think maybe you can bench press something else, but I think the Snidivlin maybe we don't want to disturb them. They look like they're sleeping. Let's just put them on the back of the Fear Rev, was it? Yes.
He'll look at you, Niles. He'll sort of look at you. He sort of has like this eye. His eyes are looking at you. He's trying to grasp what you're saying. Okay, I listen to you, feathered one. But
you can carry me, Threign. And Harry jumps on your shoulder.
Okay, perfect. This is fine. No, but jump up, little friend.
To be honest, Threign, I like to pump iron when I can as well, and there's lots of large rocks around the Underdark. It's when I was working at the furnace, we have to use to lob them up about 15 feet to even just get it in the entrance of the furnace.
We should work in the furnace. That sounds fun.
No.
Why don't we?
I shoot Threign a look like.
At some...
what is wrong with that? Sounds fun.
At some point,
the savory. Oh, sorry, my bad. I didn't realize. Apologies.
It's okay. At some point, you and me should have a competition. We can see who can lob a rock the furthest.
Oh, that sounds fun. You let me know when you want to do that. I'm always ready.
More than welcome. But I guess unless there's anything anyone wanted to do, I'll try my best to lead us back. I don't. Do I know traversing the Underdark? Because as far as I was aware, Dream's been a little lost.
You have been a little lost.
Oh no.
Yeah, I mean, as you contemplate, Dream, you've actually not been to this Verniblin village. If you had, you would have been able to get directions back out. So you take that moment to pause and go, I've actually not been to this location before. But as you are sort of perusing that, you have seen occasional signs and gnome markings. The Verniblin use their language to mark rocks, sometimes with hidden messages and with directions. While it may not be a language you speak, maybe the rest of the party can help, or hopefully they've got a skilled tracker with them who can assist.
Well, look, in the hopes that the Swift-Noban will wake up by the time that I've sort of just been trying to lead them in the general direction that I remember these rocks, looking for them, I'm going to not tell them that I don't know where I'm going, and for now just try to keep them friendly until hopefully the Swift-Noban wake up and I can ditch.
Could I get you to roll me a survival check with advantage, as Ember is actually not bad at tracking either. Survival is something he's pretty
ironically, I have a +4 too, so I'm not too bad at survival.
Ember's got a +6, but he's going to give
He will be better.
He's going to give that assistance. Ember is really good at survival, so that's with advantage. You've already rolled it with advantage, so 14. As you and Ember take up the front and begin examining the pathway, Ember able to pick out the signs of where small booted feet or bare feet have travelled through areas before, and you know what dangers to look out for, Dream, at least some of the dangers of the Underdark. Between the two of you, you manage to navigate quite successfully over the next 2 hours or so until Noose finally awakens from his deep sleep.
As this 2-week walk was going, 2-hour walk was going
2-week walk. It's a big old nap.
Probably the only person that he feels fully comfortable coming up and approaching, he's going to saddle up beside Niles during our sort of walks through these canyons and crevices and pathways in the Underdark. Sorry, I don't mean to check or not. It's just you all seem like it. You mentioned the guild, the university. You're obviously well funded and well equipped. I'm kind of the stark opposite of that. Do you have any? I hate asking for handouts. Anything I could borrow?
Do you have any clothes?
spare sets of armor.
Money.
Battle dancing can only protect me so far. Unfortunately, I was burdened with this large form.
Well, I don't have any armor on me. We didn't carry any spare sets. We did have some at the airship, but the airship's gone. So I don't have a lot. I have a spear. That's a new acquisition. I do have a little bit of money. It's shared.
Money is fine. I meant more so things to defend myself. I'm not asking for handouts on that.
Yes, no, I don't. I myself, even though I have a bag of holding, travel fairly light. I did not consider additional sets of equipment before we went down here.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm thinking that maybe he's just like you're saying no because you don't want to. It's fine. It's fine. I didn't mean to.
Oh no.
It's okay.
I'm very new to this. I have to let you know. I did not plan ahead at all for this. But I did see you before. You took note of this Maloran holy symbol. You feel free to take this. I don't think I will need it.
That would be very appreciated. A much easier channel for me than just trying to do it a bit more primitive.
No, of course. Take it. It's yours.
Reach over and grab that and sort of chuck that in the side of my belt.
As soon as you place your hands upon it, Dream, there's a pulse, almost like a sense of recognition. Even though Melora is... I don't think Melora is your god, not a god you worship.
No.
There's a sense of connection. Not directly to Melora, but almost like a begrudging recognition of you as an individual, as someone with a connection to another god, to one of the fellow prime deities, an alliance with one of the prime deities. There is this sudden feeling of momentary connection, and then it fades away.
And what is Melora's symbol?
So Melora's symbol is... I'll just pull it open so I can describe it very accurately. Melora's symbol is a wave-like spiral of water and air around a central vortex, almost like a storm viewed from above.
Okay.
There is another thing I'd like to give you that might come in handy later. You are familiar with where we are heading, unfortunately, I should say. But if we didn't have to go there, so to speak, if we needed to get eyes on, I know that you have your familiar, and we may have other ways of doing this, but it may be useful if you take this. And I will reach into my bag of holding, and I will give Dream a potion of clairvoyance, because I think that might come in handy if we want to do some special spells later down the line.
Okay. Thank you very much. Grabbing the sort of yellowish potion with that eyeball inside. Sorry, I'm not overly versed in arcane. I've visited many of the universities across Osea and the Shattered Isles, but it was more for family reasons. What does this do?
Well, I don't know quite a lot about it myself, but the chap who sold that to, well, was it the chap that sold it to me? No, I got it from the Hill Giants, that's right. Yes, no, the Hill Giants explained that this is a potion of clairvoyance. I believe we may be able to use it to convey, to be able to see an area or a location that you have visited before, and to be able to sense and decipher things that might be in there. I thought it could be good in case we want to see what we're dealing with when we get closer to the Stone Giants.
Yes.
Might give us a bit of information.
Closer to the Stone Giants. Okay, I'll keep a hold of it for now.
I mean, if we do not have to, it will just give us a little bit of information, I think. And I suspect you, being somewhat familiar, might be able to give us a bit of an insight without actually having to go there. So it might come in handy.
Okay, thank you. I'll try my best to help how I can. I don't think I would have been being quiet about it either. This conversation.
No, I think everyone would hear this. I've had a quick look through Ember's items. Ember does have a spare quarterstaff. If you want a quarterstaff, Ember just reaches into his backpack, unslings one of the quarterstaffs, and goes, "I don't need to."
I do still have my ceremonial blade. Luckily, that was kept by the giants, but the rest I've lost over my time down here. I feel almost naked. I don't usually prefer wearing armaments, but it restricts movement and dance when need be. But in times of conflict, it definitely is needed. But thank you, Ember.
No, all good. Happy to help. If I come across anything I think you'd like, I'll hold on to it and let you know. Hey. We have briefly lost Matt. It looks like he's had a blackout. Poor Matt. So he'll jump back on as soon as power's restored. In the meantime, I'll take over Niles as well until Matt is back.
I mean, if anyone, if we end up taking anything down that's, I guess that we could get some leather off. I mean, I've got my leatherworker's tools with me. I mean, I can probably, make you maybe something. I mean, no promises how good that'd be, but I can definitely try.
No, that would be amazing. Any form of protection right now would feel much nicer than knowing that the teeth of a creature need only pierce this silk.
I want to say out of game, props to you, Christian, actually, for being in the Underdark and saying, you know what, I wouldn't have armor, so you've got 10 AC as a paladin. Props to you for actually doing that. That's awesome.
Yeah. I did rescale some of the combats as a result afterwards. I didn't initially, then I felt so guilty I went back, did one or two quick adjustments because I was like, "Fuck, I can't kill this."
It's fine. I'm an Aarakocra paladin with 10 AC and no flying speed.
Yeah, there's nothing can go wrong here.
I think as we walk along, Lyra's definitely using that passive perception to its max and keeping an eye on if there's any sort of anything that could be used as a makeshift shield.
So yeah, I mean the pathway that Ember and Dream leads you along takes you back out around the edge of this massive open cavern, the one that you had first entered in, where the walls are so far away you can't even see the other side. The massive, massive lake below you stretches off into infinity. You can see almost the curvature of the planet itself reflected in the dark waters of the lake. It is so large, this cavern. Dotting it are a multitude of bioluminescent plants and fungi. The pathway that you take takes you slightly downwards along the edge of one of the walls of this enormous cavern. The pathway seems to be fairly well maintained. The fungus growing on either side have been cleared a little bit to provide a nice open passageway. But you do spy, Lyra, a number of larger fungi with a much woodier stem than you would have ever believed possible for a plant. I mean, the cellular wall on these must be stronger, if not must be as strong, if not stronger, than that of a woody plant. And as you wrap your knuckles against one of the mushroom stalks, yeah, I mean, with a bit of time and a bit of patience, you could fashion a shield out of this material, no problems. It's as strong as a wooden shield.
Are these, I'm not sure my knowledge of how many years I've been down here, Zirkwood trees?
They are Zirkwood trees.
Yeah, like if she sort of thinks, yeah, she'll probably take, a big piece that'd make decent sort of size shield, and sort of as we're walking, she's just sort of like trying to figure out, like, okay, if I put something like this and I've got like the leatherworking tools, if
are you able to bring those to life just like the other spore people I've seen?
Bring it to life?
Yes.
Other spore people?
Wait, there are others like me?
Yeah, they look much more like what was coming out of that one's mouth before Tim. I've never personally met them in books. Myconians, they have like mushroom capped heads and bodies. They're fairly friendly.
Has she ever heard of them before, Owen?
Do you want to make me an Arcana or a History check? Actually, no, sorry, let me rephrase that. Nature or History check.
Nature or History?
Nature or History, your choice.
Two things I am amazing at.
I like that people are suggesting you skin Harry and make leather armor out of him. Twitch chat. Come on, guys.
One way to get leather?
That is one way to get leather. 2. Nah, man. You've never heard of You've never heard of anything like that before.
And they bring the trees to life.
Well, those
like dryads?
Which is why I thought that you were like them. I've seen them raise Duragar and others that they've killed to be bodyguards of their groves, and then other times Zirkwood trees that seem to just sort of unroot themselves. I thought you were doing what you were doing with the zombie again. Sorry.
The zombie is following along behind this whole time, by the way. Just at the back of the party.
I mean, I was legit just trying to talk to him, but and then with the tree, wait, the tree's not going to come to life and attack us, is it? If I take some of this bark off?
I don't fucking know. I don't want to find out.
Lyra pokes the tree. He's like,
poke it. Feels like hard wood. Yeah.
My rule of thumb in the Underdark is not to touch the things that glow or have dust around them.
Yeah, but they may be worth something.
Yeah, she's going to try and see, if there's like a loose bit of bark or something that she can like.
Yeah, absolutely. As you have a bit of a look around, you don't need to roll for this. I'm happy to have it with your passive perception. There are indeed a few slabs of bark that are a little bit looser, and as you go to pull them off, Ember and Threign will come and give you a little bit of a hand. The 3 of you together, 4 of you if Dream helps out as well. No challenge, just to snap off this large piece of bark.
Now, as me and Ember are going, could I roll a survival check again with advantage? But
absolutely.
Not for tracks, because that's what we're still doing.
Looking for danger.
Yes, looking
absolutely.
There is instead, rather than tracks of Noblin, tracks of other creatures that may prove to hunt us.
Yes, absolutely. 100%. 19. There are indeed signs that dangerous creatures frequently move through these areas. Slither like drag marks across the stone floor cross one of the caverns that opens up off this main pathway. You're not sure exactly what made those markings, but it looks like something enormous. The diameter is easily 1 meter wide. If it's a snake, it's an enormous one. If it's something worse with multiple tentacles, best avoided, which causes you and Ember to take a bit of a deviation and move off this particular part of the main pathway and take a small, almost like a goat track, down the side. This leads you off the main pathway around the cavern wall, around the southern cavern wall, and into an area of incredibly dense mushroom forest. This particular region seems to be bursting with life. The colors of the different bioluminescent fungi are a rainbow pattern across the ground. You can even see high above mushrooms on the cavern roof glittering like starlight above. There are what almost look like small glowflies hovering between the mushrooms, but as you have a bit of a closer look, it turns out these are actually spores drifting on invisible currents of air, pulsing with a soft bluey-green light, winking on and off as they move through the air, as large as a marble, floating in the air.
Actually going to say, I'm going to like raise up a fist to hopefully get everyone to stop. I'm not sure if Threign will follow in suit as I do this. But otherwise stop them even if people don't understand the hand sign, trying to initiate some of that non-verbal communication. And as a rule of thumb, I sort of treat all of them like frogs. The more colorful something is, the worse it is usually down here. And my go-to, I'm going to pick up a rock and throw it. So I would like to just like hit one of the mushrooms.
Yeah, as you fling the rock into a patch of mushrooms, it smacks into the bell curve of one of the very brightly, let's say like a bright reddy orange colored one. And as the rock bounces off it, some spores sort of drop from underneath the mushroom. The rock thumps into the ground.
Okay, there's no big burst.
No big burst, no big explosions. These don't look like Timask or like another type of much more dangerous mushrooms. These look much similar to different variations of the Zerkwood. There's many, many different colors of mushrooms here. Lyra, you had spoken a little bit to Professor Grell about different mushroom types, hadn't you?
Both the tattoo artist and Grell.
You recognize a couple of the different names. You recognize some barrel stalk, which is a large cask-shaped fungus which contains fresh water, filters water from the ground and holds fresh water within it, almost like a cactus. You can also see some Trillimac as well, a mushroom that grows quite tall, sort of 4 or 5 feet, with these broad green caps and light grey stalks. And you know that it's actually got a leathery... If you cut the cap, you can actually use it almost like a leather substitute. And you can actually eat the stalk as well.
Yeah,
after soaking it in water for a bit.
I think she'll probably point them out and be like, oh, wait, funny enough, I do actually know some of these ones. If anyone needs to refill, any of your water supplies, you're going to want that one. And, Dream, we might actually be able to help you out with some leather. I mean, these ones over here, if we cut them, and sort of skin, she starts just sort of showing what she's doing, sort of talking her way through it as she goes.
I'd love to help Lyra and try to find some rations. That would be amazing.
So she'll pull sort of like the leather tops off, like get enough to sort of, I don't know, she has no idea how much she probably needs to sort of try and make something that'll be useful for Dream, but then also is like, okay, now, while I'm doing this, you chop up these stalk end bits, and then we can add them to your rations. I've never tried them myself, but apparently edible?
You told you had to soak them in water for a couple of hours and then they were edible. They'd swell up. At the moment, they're like dry and very chewy.
we might want to put them in some barrel stalk. Wait, can we take the barrel stalk with us? Like, can we like chop top of it, stick the stalk in?
Someone strong could, yeah. Threign could carry a barrel stalk with him. It's roughly the size of a small barrel. Probably could hold about 100 liters of water.
Small barrel, can it fit in the bag of holding?
Ooh, what's the diameter of the bag of holding mouth again? Let me quickly have a look.
But the other thing is also, what's time like in there? Does time go by?
Yes.
Okay.
He doesn't freeze time in there. 2 feet in diameter at the mouth. I need to convert that to metric because
the oxygen runs out. That means that technically mold and stuff shouldn't really get a good grip on it, right?
So here's the thing: if it's aerobic, it will cease. If it's anaerobic, it will have no problems at all. Anaerobic can happen within or without the presence of air. Let's have a quick look.
Worst
so
case
60
scenario,
centimeter.
Threign is more than happy to hold it. Worst case.
Yeah, let's have a quick look. So, yeah, I think actually the barrel, if you picked a slightly smaller barrel stalk, you could just squeeze it into the bag holding because it's 60 centimeters diameter that it can open up to the mouth, 2 feet, which is huge. That's enormous.
Then we can try and get, some sort of big pot. We can boil it all up and have whatever the hell this mushroom stalk tastes like stew.
Ember will spend the next bit helping you out.
So yeah, we've got some food, we've got some leather. When we get a chance, we'll make you some more stuff. How did she end up going with that shield, by the way?
You're walking as you go, so it's not going to be very easy to shape and to fix the shield. But now that you've got some leather to make some leather strips, all you're going to need is maybe a bit of metal to hammer through as a nail to affix it in place. And you could make a very makeshift shield. If you wanted to make a professionally made shield, you'll need a bit of downtime to do that, as well as some. You'll probably need access to some nails or some tools to help sort of like attach the leather strips to the shield to hold. But in the right circumstances, you could make a very fashionable shield out of this. I'm going to say this all takes about half an hour, like going through picking the mushrooms that you want.
Here he's keeping watch while this is happening. He's going to find an advantage spot to keep
That
watch.
Was my next question. Harry, as you when you say,
can I give him an advantage? Because me and him, he's on my back. I'll probably be on lookout with him.
Yeah, perfect. Harry, would you like to make me a perception check?
Yes, I would. +7. Let's see.
You have advantage on this because Threign is helping.
It is only a 15, but still not bad.
Harry, as the other three begin working, actually Niles is probably helping out too. I'm going to say Niles helps out, like getting excited, chatting to Dream, going like, "Oh yes, we could make you a very lovely little shield out of this if you like using shields." getting excited into it.
Shields aren't quite my forte.
Maybe you could use the leather mushroom things to make like a breastplate or something.
Yeah. Apologies, Lyra. I didn't mean to waste your time. No, the style of fighting that I've been trained in, this battle ballet, does not accompany for. I have to. It's the two-handed weapon. I don't have a spare third arm, sadly.
That'd be really cool, but it's no worry. I mean, it'll take a bit longer, but if we get a chance to sit down for a while, this breastplate's made out of chitin. She's just sort of like tapping proudly on it. It's like you'd be surprised. You can make stuff out of like a bunch of different stuff.
Very innovative. Thank you.
If you like punch a hole through here and you can like tie some rope through, you can dangle some of this bark on both sides, like a breastplate, like Lyra said.
A double-sided breastplate.
Yeah.
And Ned Kelly again.
We all know how that ended. Harry and Threign, as the two of you keep a lookout, the other four begin working away, cutting down sections of these mushrooms, collecting the barrel stalk, preparing rations. It's at that moment, as they're working away, you catch out of the corner of your eye, Harry, movement from a little grove of mushrooms. This is a forest of mushrooms that you're currently in. Some of them are 20, 30 meters tall, rising high above you. Bracket fungus growing off like branches on a tree on either side of these enormous stalks. Some of them covered in what looks like this bright orange lichen, with tendrils growing out from them with little bright golden lights on the end of each of these tendrils. You catch a little bit of a movement from one of the groves up just only about sort of 15, 20 meters away. But as you stop and peer closer, you can't see anything moving. So you let your eyes wander and move back across, keeping a lookout. Again, you suddenly notice movement from another grove, this one only about 10 meters away. And as you sort of pause and look in a bit closer, again, you can't see anything, but you swear you saw some movement just for a second.
Can Harry say, "Who goes thee?"
Yeah. You call out. There's no response. The rest of you hear Harry suddenly call out, "Who goes there?" which is a bit of a hint.
Dream would stop and pull out like a couple of inches of his greatsword.
It's at this moment.
Harry will throw a rock into the grove.
Perfect. As you reach down off Threign, grab a rock and then chuck it in. It's at this moment that you hear on the back of the Fee Rev, the Noose, one of the Snurf Nibblin, sort of rub his eyes and go, the mushroom forest? What are we doing in here? And as he calls that out, Harry, you peg this stone into the thicket, into this very densely packed thicket of mushrooms. And you watch as it bounces off a very squat, thick mushroom stalk that seems to sort of grow up from a slightly thinner point, branch out in the middle, and then almost squeeze back in again at the top with a large fruiting body, this massive cap on top. It's at that moment you watch the cap slowly lower and then look back up again. And then two sides of the stalk split off, forming arms. And as it stands and begins walking over towards you, you see an enormous, almost 3 meter tall bipedal mushroom, covered in layers of bracket fungus, forming these colourful patterns across its body. And as it cocks its head and looks up towards you and Threign, you can see that it has these deep-set eyes glowing softly with this almost yellowish glow.
Threign, don't attack it, please.
Yes, we should go. Lyra, you want to leave your little Timmy to like distract him, and we should go.
I mean, he doesn't look angry, does he? I mean,
I think this is one of the myconids I was telling you about, Lyra.
Noose on the back goes, it's a myconid, but hang on. There's a couple of different colonies. Some of them are very friendly, some of them are not. Just bow. Everyone bow and we'll see what happens. It can't hear or understand you yet. Just bow. Everyone bow.
Dream's gonna.
He bows. She also gets Tim to bow.
I will.
Of course I will.
I won't bow straight away just because Threign isn't used to bowing. He'll look at everyone and he's learning from his teammates. He sort of looks around and goes, "This is weird. Okay, I don't really care. Sure." And I sort of look around, sort of confused, and I bow as well. It just takes a bit longer than everyone else.
Harry has to wait for Threign to bow because like he's on his shoulder, so he has to wait for Threign to bow and then reposition himself and then bow on top of Threign bowing.
That looks so weird.
Speaking Druidic, can Lyra just sort of say friend?
Yeah, you watch as you call out friend in Druidic, you watch as the myconid, this enormous, 3 meter tall form, cocks its head, looks across at all of you. Its eyes dim ever so slightly. It watches each of you bow. And then it bows in turn. And then it starts moving over towards you. You watch as it presses its hand to its chest, and then as it pulls its hand back off again, this massive 3-fingered hand, spores trail behind it. And it then flicks the spores out across all of you. You watch as Noose smiles and goes, "These are okay. We can speak to it. These, let us talk to it. It's really weird. Just breathe in some of the spores. It'll be okay, I promise."
Oh yeah, Lyra just goes straight ahead.
Spore Druid just going, getting a hit of spores. As you do so, Lyra, there's a sudden moment of dizziness, and then you feel your mind open. There's a vast presence right at the edge. You're right on the edge of this enormous, almost what feels like a huge mind made up of lots of smaller pinpricks. Almost like a constellation is made up of lots of stars. There's this enormous, almost an intelligence. Mind-opening mushrooms, exactly, mind-opening mushrooms. And as you feel the attention of this group, this hive mind, turn towards you, you hear music, a song, and a voice in your head. "Welcome, traveller. The circle bids you rest. Within our lands you are safe from the dangers of the dark. Come, we would rest, speak with you and your companions. The circle welcomes you."
If she's sort of picked up enough of sort of how this communication's working, can she just sort of try and send back in a very friendly, imagine sort of sing-song kind of way? It's just friend?
Yeah,
sort of
absolutely.
implying no harm meaning kind of.
Yeah, as you sort of try and copy this back. By this point, I'd say for those of you who aren't deliberately trying not to breathe in the spores, you too sort of feel this sudden moment of dizziness and then hear the same thing as Lyra all at the same time, like many voices overlapping one another. as you try and communicate back. Oh yeah, Dream, yeah.
Dream trusts Noose, so we'll breathe in.
Yeah, Noose does the same, and then as you communicate back this sort of feeling of friendship, Lyra, you feel minds almost springing into your awareness around you. You feel the mind. Yeah?
Sorry, I am going to use, as I breathe in, I would rather do it now rather than hindsight, just a divine sense.
Absolutely. Phase, fiend, celestial, or undead. There is an undead extremely close to you. It's currently bowing because it has not been given a new instruction since bow. The undead form of Tim the Enchanter that you murdered and then Lyra has reanimated is definitely an undead. That sense of celestial, that sense of celestial connection coming from the Maloran holy symbol you now have in your pocket. And then that sense of Fae from Lyra. Interestingly, there's a very subtle, almost like an echo of Fae about the Myconids. Very faint, like they're long distant cousins, or there's an old connection to the Fae. Okay. As each of you become aware, you feel the minds around you also connecting, and you suddenly become conscious of your friends' minds. Not their thoughts, but the presence of them. You feel Ember's mind, like a candle flame flickering. You feel Dreams. I'd say would cold and hard at the moment be fair to say for Dream? Yeah. Lyra, curious and inquisitive. Harry, cautious and observational. And Threign, excited and battle ready. And then for Niles...
Almost like a tempest.
Yeah, like
almost
a tempest.
Like a tempest for Threign.
And then Niles, this calm serenity, as the minds sort of flicker into existence around you, as you can feel them connected by the spores. Next to you, you watch as Noose, the deep gnome, clambers down off the back of the Fear, wanders forward, holds a hand out, palm upwards towards the Myconid, who reaches down and places a palm against his, and you feel this sense of calmness coming from Noose, and then this sense of fear, then accompanied by a sense of embrace. These emotions sort of coming off of Noose, almost like a wave. The Myconid turns and then begins to stomp off through the forest, gesturing for you to follow.
I'll whisper to Noose, is there a way to turn this off? I feel very uncomfortable being so...
If there
exposed.
Is, we've never figured out how to do it. There's a reason that we don't shack up with the Myconids very often. It's a weird feeling. We're not fans of it either.
That's fine. I'm going to use 5 points of lay on hands and try to clean myself of this connection with everyone.
Ooh. You are able to clear the existing connection. Unfortunately, it doesn't last very long as you move, because if you are following the Myconid as you move closer, the spores, these communication spores, are everywhere. And you soon begin breathing in new ones, and that sense of connection reforms. Damn, it absolutely would work for the brief moment, because it is kind of like an infection in a way.
Yeah, just a frustration from Dream not wanting to feel so naked in front of everyone.
As you move through the forest and begin approaching what is clearly the circle, this sense of sanctuary being sent off to you from the Myconid, you notice the mushrooms as you get closer and closer. There's a few more that begin looking much more dangerous than what you've seen previously. There's a bright orange and red mushroom rising from the ground that seems to almost glow hot with fire. And as you approach, you watch as Noose, who's sort of following close behind the mic, and he gives it a wide berth, and then quickly looks around to make sure you are all as well, gesturing you away from it. The Myconid leads you towards what almost looks like a very dense patch of mushroom forest, but is actually partially an illusion created by the Zerkwood stalks, which are particularly thick around here. As you approach, you can see what looks like a small hollowed shadow through this dense patch of what looks like a massive, massive grove of trees, but is actually mostly hollow on the other side, this opened glade filled with other Myconids. You can see at least 9 or 10 more moving around, seemingly completing tasks. Among them, are humanoids, which for a moment you recognize some as being almost resembling a half-elf. There's another one that looks like a human. A few more which you assume must be Durgar or deep gnomes. You can see there's some other like grey-skinned dwarves and grey-skinned gnomes moving amongst them. But as you look at them, there's this sudden moment of revulsion as you realize these are all corpses, puppeted in much the same way that Lyra is puppeting the corpse of Tim. Mushrooms grow across their bodies. You can see bracket fungus bursting out of their chests. One of them is even, a Durgar is actually missing an eye. A large pale stalk has grown out in its place. And as they move through, they make no sound, no noises, no groans, no communication, merely carrying, shifting, chopping, and doing whatever they can to assist the colony. It's at this moment, as your sort of attention is caught by these bizarre reanimated corpses, the ground suddenly shakes next to you, and you watch as an enormous bird-like creature stomps out of the gloom, moving back the way you came and taking guard at the entrance. Two enormous bone hooks come out of these very small T-Rex-like arms, and you can see an enormous jagged beak. This thing is easily 2.5 meters tall, and as it stomps past you, there is a sense of dread looking at this thing, but you notice mushrooms growing through its body. In fact, part of its rib cage is busted in and has been replaced by this dense, roiling mass of mycelial strands, reanimating this corpse.
Seeing this, can Lyra sort of try and sort of call out to sort of get our escorts like attention?
Yeah. And
sort of like sort of gesturing, sort of like referencing the bird with the mushrooms growing out. Can she just sort of ask like, how? And sort of like gesturing is like, you know, I've sort of done it to this guy. It's like, how do you do this? This is cool.
We take the bodies of those who have fallen. Give them life, to serve the circle. Spores give life.
They do give life. They gave life back. Can you use anybody for this? I mean...
Anybody.
That's very cool. Thank you.
As your guide nods and begins leading you further in, you can see there's a very small hill at the very center of this glade, and atop it are 3 more myconids, each one with a bracket fungus forming almost what looks like a crown on their heads. One very tall and willowy, one quite short and squat, and one with what looks like 4 arms coming off this much more wiry frame. All of them stand in a circle, and at their feet you can see what looks like another myconid, prone and unmoving. This one looks smaller, a lot smaller, almost child-sized or gnome-sized.
What are they doing to that one?
Sorrow, death. We try to give life to death. Life, once gone, is hard to return.
Yeah, as you imagine the concept of funeral, there's a sense of confusion and then a sense of recognition.
Similar.
I can help.
Help. Heal. Life. Come. All must come.
And your guide immediately begins to move up the hill. The instruction not seeming to have come from it, but the 3 figures on the hill, who immediately break the circle that they're making with their arms and turn towards you. You can see they have different coloured eyes. One purple, the one with 4 arms has purple coloured eyes. The one that's very tall, red coloured eyes. And the one that's much shorter and squatter, blue coloured eyes. And as you approach, they again place their hands on their chests and then pull out. And you watch as these spores sort of drift in the air around them. Seems like some sort of greeting or some sort of recognition that they make. And then you hear in your mind all the voices talking at once.
Travellers, to the grove, to the circle. You help. Small one, no longer with us. You help. As they point down at the prone Myconid at their feet.
Can Lyra? Oh, go ahead.
No, you. I guess we could work together, but I think our powers are. What I was wanting to do feels different to what you're wanting to do. My father taught me just processes on how to let a spirit pass on to rest, not bring it back. Funeral rites. I was going to try and complete that. With this, I'm going to pull out the spell focus that I have, and I was going to cast or at least spend the next hour casting the ceremony spell, but maybe what you're doing might be what they're after?
I think she's just going to ask them. It's, they've asked for help, and she's just going to say, help how? Like, what would you like?
Sorrow, sorrow. Life gone. From death comes life. From life comes death. And they look down. Help. But there's a sense of sorrow there. It's not so much a plea as it is a sad statement. A sense of hopelessness.
This ceremony that you were talking about, what does it do?
Farewell. Farewell.
That pretty much is on my side. Yes, I am. I guess I would be helping them more officially. I'm not sure if it works or not, to be honest. But put the body at rest and let the spirit move on to the outer planes.
Igran, always dreamt of light, Ritual from surface seems appropriate. Please help.
I'm gonna ask whoever had the glowstone, the gem.
I think Ember has the glowstone. Ember will pass the glowstone to you wordlessly. Yeah,
Oh,
hearing all of this, like, yep.
No, I was gonna ask Ember if he could. Actually, yeah, it feels more appropriate. Activate it and place it on the. I guess is the child like laying down prone or in a fetal position, curled up?
Lying curled up, fetal position, curled up, and you can see that the bracket fungus is much more grey. There's no sign of light or vibrancy, whereas a number of the other myconids had these little points of bioluminescence across their body. This one has none.
Okay, I am to make this somewhat at least ceremonial. I'll place it in the center of the myconid's like fetal positioned arms. If you'd like to help as well at the same time, Lyra, we'll spend the next, for at least me, hour slowly marking into the ground sigils in the languages that I do understand that are probably associated with magic of Common and Elvish.
Perfect.
Slowly encapsulating the body and attempting to, once that's done, then begin, I guess there would also be probably a dance associated with it for me, a slow, mourningful series of pirouettes and bows around the small child and complete the, I'll chuck it in the chat, the ceremony spell.
As you begin to do the movements, the spores, those softly glowing, pulsing spores, as you sort of move through them, leaving a bit of an after trail, pulling the spores, these bioluminescent spores, these softly glowing spores seem to move behind you, almost forming these ribbons of light as you move through this sequence of very complex, elegant movements, creating almost what looks like a glowing after image of where you've been and where you've moved, as the spores kind of follow the wind trail created by your arms and legs and body. The sense of sorrow never leaves, but you can feel appreciation, a sense of gratitude coming off the myconids as you perform this ceremony.
Could I to see how well maybe this might create some sort of a
check?
Yeah, bond with them, do a performance check.
Yeah. I was about to suggest it, so that's perfect. I was about to say if you'd like to do a performance check, you're more than welcome to.
Thank God. Good roll.
22. Yeah. As you perform this...
I rolled persuasion, but they're both a +7.
That's okay. I figured. As you perform this sequence of movements and finish performing the ritual, there's a strong sense of connection, and you feel and hear in your mind, all of you hear this overpowering, all 20 voices speaking at once. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Just all speaking and overlapping. While Dream and Lyra and Ember are doing that, Harry, you have actually been given a challenge by the community. Normally we use the achievements for when I'm playing PC games. I probably should specify on the actual point thing what these are for, but I'm also going to implement it for now because it is kind of funny. You need to try and swipe at least 5 NPC coin purses. If you succeed, there is an epic reward for you. If you fail, there is a mild punishment.
Do the myconids have coin purses?
Yeah, I was going to say.
Well, here's the thing.
You know who does? The zombie corpses.
Exactly right.
Nice.
Yeah, there's a number of spore servants.
Yeah, I don't even know if the myconids would care about them.
It's both grave robbing and burglary at the exact same time.
Desecration and damages at the same time. That's a new D&D. Damages and desecration. Harry, that is your mission. You must pickpocket 5 NPC coin purses.
Okay. Will,
I want you to write it down as a bond, please. Just a temporary one. No, I'm kidding. Yeah.
I have in my adventuring gear oil.
Yes, you do.
Is that like just cooking oil? Or would that be like...
I'd say that it's multi-use oil. You could potentially use it for cooking. It can also be used as a flammable source of fuel.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And lubricant. I mean, all oils are slippery.
Yeah. Okay. Oil doesn't help anything in this situation, I guess. Harry would like to. Okay. Harry would like to. Say. Oh, this is so bad. Harry would like to join into the.
You want me to burn your child's corpse? Is that what you're going to say?
No.
Okay.
I like to think the oil has a nice scent. He's a merchant. It's like a scented oil, maybe infused with some nice stuff. I don't know. So Harry would like to perform a ritual of his own.
Okay.
Brave. So Harry would like to I guess right in front of everyone, right? Like contribute to the ritual that's happening and pour some oil on the lycanite corpse, and then as he's like partaking in this impromptu ritual, slip his hand in the pocket and go for a coin purse.
Yeah, do you want to make me a investigation check?
Wait, who are you stealing from?
Just slide a hand check.
Like what? The dead chick?
Yeah.
The dead corpse.
The myconid. Yeah.
That's in the middle of everyone.
Yes. Yeah, I'd like a sleight of hand check, please, Harry.
What did I come back to?
Yeah.
Harry's stealing from a dead baby.
Yeah.
That's a 13.
That's a 13. Harry, as you gently try to apply these oils, pretending that there's some sort of like holy oil to apply,
no, just a nice infused oil.
Yeah, you got to pat down looking for pockets and pat down looking for this. There's no pockets. It's like multi-layered fungus. This entire creature seems to be composed of fungus, and as the myconids sort of watch you begin sort of like patting down, it's like this prone body in the middle. There's a sense of confusion and a sense of warning coming from the three around you. a sense of warning that begins to grow the longer you do this.
Hiri will then finish up and yep. Okay, thanks for everyone. And then he'll slink back into the shadows and try to disappear.
Do you want to make me a stealth check, please?
So okay, just for everyone to know, my original plan was to steal from the one in front of everyone, and if he gets caught, just say it's a tradition to give something and to take something from the dead. But I guess a persuasion check wouldn't really work against a micronid.
Also,
you don't know. You could try.
Not really pickpocketing.
Yeah.
I was about to say. Also, do they like we said, do myconids look like they have things on their possession? They're just naked mushroom people.
They're just mushroom people. Their clothes are made out of their own body. Natural 20 for a total of 29.
So that's a 29 for myself. Wow.
Despite the sense of warning, the fact that you back off, the myconids then turn their attention back to the ceremony. And it's at this point that Dream begins his dance, which does capture their attention, allowing you to slip unnoticed into the shadows. While this is going on, none of the spore servants, none of these reanimated corpses stop what they're doing. But no one's watching them. Everyone's watching this ceremony. All the myconids have come out to watch it now, leaving most of the spore servants completely unattended.
Okay, Harry will go into prey animal instinct mode and switch off his brain, because I imagine we're all using rapport spores, right? Like if he feels like he's doing something that he shouldn't be doing, they feel like he knows.
Yep.
So he's gonna switch that off and just go into instinct, having his gray past. He's going to instinctively do his best to, in the shadows, steal from the spore servants.
Can I get a sleight of hand with advantage? There are easily 30 spore servants moving throughout this glade. I'll get a sleight of hand check with advantage for your stealth. 23 and 11.
Thank goodness that's advantage. Okay,
23.
Yep.
Harry, would you like to roll a let's say a D4 followed by a D20, please? 3, brilliant. And an 8. You do indeed find a number of interesting items in the pockets of some of the spore servants. The Duragar seem to have these gold and silver coins marked with dwarvish symbols, which you don't recognize, but your total haul from pickpocketing all of these Duragar is 28 gold pieces and 42 silver pieces. Not bad.
How much silver, sorry?
42 silver pieces. In addition, it seems that some of these Duragar must have been killed and reanimated without anyone checking what's in their little pockets, because you do also find a vial of what looks almost like a type of oil. It seems to be black and sticky and pungent, but as you turn it around in the vial, it moves incredibly quickly as you seem to find what looks like a vial of oil of slipperiness. There is also one more item you find in the pocket of a very wizardy looking Duragar dressed in these fine robes, half moon spectacles still perched on his nose that have been fused to his face with these myconid spores, these mycelium that have grown through the glasses and are now sealing them onto his face. You find what looks like a small wand, silver and black, with what looks like a little crystal vial halfway up the length of it. Zombie Dumbledore. Zumbledore!
Is there anything that would be useful for Dream as armor that I can pilfer?
It's going to be hard to to remove the armor from these bodies, but you could potentially do it.
They definitely didn't remove the armor from the bodies before.
No effort has been made to prepare these bodies in any way. Harry, your reward for completing that is that item that I mentioned last, that wand that you rolled for a magic item, and that is your magic item as a reward for completing your little challenge.
So I should play with it later to see what it does.
I think you should definitely play with it right now.
Okay. Harry will dip further into... I mean, it's going to be an hour ceremony. Harry has a short lifespan, so he's gonna go off
The wand of fireball shoots into the crowd.
Hey, it could be a wand of smiles. Who knows?
Okay, so he slinks off further away from everyone else. It's quiet. He doesn't want to. So he's going to wave the wand.
Yeah. As you wave the wand, you feel the magic activate. The gem glows very briefly. This glass vial glows with light and then fades away. Doesn't activate more than that. You know this one does something.
Harry jumps on the spot. Harry tries to jog on the spot.
No, it doesn't seem to change anything about you.
Can Harry look around at what was around with him before and after, or check his clothing or armor?
As you have a bit of a look around, I mean, you look the same.
Checks
from
that
what
his gold is still there, that he's just stolen.
As you look into your coin pouch, all your gold's still there.
Okay, yep. Cool. Yeah, Harry just puts the wand away, sheaths it, and just kind of.
Can you add mysterious wand to your to your pack, please?
You got a lot of mysterious items.
Yeah, you guys are picking up mysterious items today. And I think what we might do, I know, Matt, you have only just come back, but because I want to really quickly record all of the new intros at the end of this, I will wrap us up a little bit sooner. I am so sorry.
No, it's all right.
Because we're going to do the intro. So I think that is a good place to stop as the ritual comes to an end and you feel that appreciation and gratitude from the Myconids. And that is all from us here tonight. We will jump back in next session to explore the Underdark even further. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. It has been lovely having you here. If you're watching on Twitch, don't go anywhere because we're going to go and raid a lovely channel. I think, let's have a quick look and see who we can go and raid. I always like to share who we're going to go raid. We are going to go raid. Ooh, is Mims? I think Mim is actually online right now. That's the artist for the Matonia Blues. Oh, Fate's Grip are also on. We should probably go raid Fate's Grip. Yeah, let's go raid Fate's Grip. They are playing Dungeons & Dragons. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming and joining us. If you're watching us on YouTube, please make sure you hit that thumbs up button. More importantly, though, hit the subscribe button. That's the one that really matters. We are only, I think, 30 legends away now from smashing across that 1,000 subscribers. So that is amazing. And the other big news I have as well is that to celebrate us when we get across the 1,000 subs on YouTube, I am actually starting writing all of the Nostea information up as a module that I will be putting up on the DM's Guild for everyone to use.
Hey.
Thinking I might do it as a bit of a Patreon for some extra stuff, but the amount of work I've done behind the scenes, it is absolutely foolish not to publish it as a full book, so that if you wanted to run campaigns in the world of Nostea, everything is going to be there. All the homebrew classes I've made, all the homebrew races, everything. It's all going to be there. The mythology, all there for everyone to enjoy. I've been working on this a little bit in the background for a while, but I am now excited and really keen to share it. So I thought I would do that tonight.
You too can pilfer from a dead baby.
You too can pilfer. That's going to be the catch line, is it? For
in front of everyone.
10 out of 10.
Episode title.
Yeah, 10 out of 10 would recommend. Oh my god. Well, thank you so much for joining us, everybody.
Follow your dreams.
Follow your dreams. We are going to be back next week. Until then, though, stay safe, stay well, and we will see you all again next time. Goodbye, everybody. Bye.
Bye, everyone. Have a good night.
Bye.